Thank you for joining us. We're going to introduce the both sides of the argumentative debate. My name is Braden Buth, and I'm on the pro side.
My name is Vina Nguyen, and I'm also on the pro side.
My name is Harrison McCormick, and I'm on the con side.
And I'm Christina Varela, and I'm also on the con side.
Okay, to get started, in recent years, we have witnessed corporate social responsibility take prominence in corporate culture, enabling businesses to hold themselves accountable to their stakeholders, communities, future generations, and environment as they carry out their business operations. As the public and employees call upon businesses to take a staunch position on political issues, what would that mean for companies that have previously remained neutral during these discussions? For context, one of our lead pharmacists, Sam, showed up to work donning a Black Lives Matter shirt, and other members of our staff have come into the pharmacy with MAGA hats in retaliation. This has caused dissonance amongst the workers at our store location. Many express that CVS should take a stance on political issues, whereas others maintain that as an establishment with no political ties, we should continue that status quo by introducing political discourse into the workplace. Oh, by not introducing political discourse. Now, as tensions are continuing to rise, we are faced with the dilemma of whether to be in support of political neutrality or in support of political expression. Should we maintain the status quo to preserve our reputation as a well-respected company in society, or take a stance to support the disenfranchised in our company and within our communities? Before my partner and I begin, I would like to introduce two definitions. The first one being professionalism, which, according to the Webster Dictionary, is the skill, good judgment, and polite behavior that is expected from a person who is trained to do a job well. The second is advocacy, which, according to the same source, is the act or process of supporting a cause or proposal. When we present our evidence on how taking a stance on political justice can foster a more ethical work culture, uplift our company's reputable image, and engage our communities, we hope you will concede with the advantages and will affirm our proposal to support free speech, social justice, and values in the workplace. For this specific situation, our company should take an affirmative stand on freedom of speech, social justice, and friendly discourse of values in the workplace and foster an environment that is conducive to that. We suggest that our company should first and foremost broadcast an official statement on our position of the aforementioned social issues. We can then proceed with incorporating standards that outline this new decision while still in alignment with our corporate mission and values. In the drafting of our new company guidelines, we should strive to prioritize cordiality and civility when conducting these exchanges because CVS is first and foremost still a workplace that must maintain a level of professionalism. And I'll bring it to my partner.
First, freedom of expression helps build an ethical workplace by promoting psychological safety and authentic self-expression. Psychological safety means that employees feel comfortable sharing their ideas, perspectives, and identities without fear of punishment, embarrassment, or negative consequences. When workers feel safe expressing themselves, they are more likely to participate in discussions, collaborate with coworkers, and contribute ideas that can improve the organization. This kind of environment encourages honesty and open communication. Research shows that organizations with high psychological safety tend to experience stronger engagement, teamwork, and performance. When expression is suppressed, however, employees may feel silenced or undervalued. Over time, this can damage trust between employees and leadership and reduce overall morale. If people feel that they cannot speak openly about issues that matter to them, they may become less invested in their work or in the organization as a whole. Freedom of expression also benefits businesses in practical ways. According to Freedom House in 2015, protections for freedom of expression promote transparency and access to information, which helps reduce uncertainty and the risk of legal problems. In other words, when communication is open and transparent, organizations are better able to address issues before they grow into larger conflicts. This matters because transparency and open communication are essential parts of an ethical workplace. When employees feel comfortable expressing their views, they're more likely to speak up about ethical concerns, workplace problems, or unfair practices. This strengthens accountability and integrity within the organization. Overall, protecting freedom of expression helps create a workplace culture that is honest, respectful, and ethically responsible.
Our second argument is that the promotion of social justice in the workplace will cultivate an environment for equal opportunity, equity, and inclusion for all employees. The evidence to back this up is presented by the Lifestyle Sustainability Directory, which posits that social justice will open doors for fair compensation of labor, unbiased hiring and promotion processes, as well as a safe and inclusive atmosphere free from discrimination or harassment. These opportunities are beneficial to employees and companies alike. For workers, facilitating a fair workplace will help them feel that they are being respected and valued for their time and contributions. For companies, these benefits will increase employee commitment and engagement, which will in turn help them accomplish long-term gains. This matters because for a diverse company such as CVS, setting a standard that prioritizes each employee and their well-being is crucial to its operations. This commitment to an equitable workplace will allow companies to cultivate a more devoted relationship with their employees, and this dedication will assist them in better serving their customers and communities, which is essential for a community-focused company like CVS.
Our third argument focuses on how social engagement increases employee commitment and organizational pride. Allowing employees to express support for social justice or political causes can help them feel more connected to the values of their organization. Many employees today want to work for companies that show awareness of social issues and demonstrate responsibility towards the communities they serve. When organizations acknowledge these concerns instead of suppressing them, employees often feel that their workplace reflects their personal values. Research on corporate social responsibility supports this idea. According to Glavis and Kelly, when employees perceive their organization as socially aware and supportive of broader societal issues, they report higher levels of job satisfaction, stronger organizational commitment, and greater pride in where they work. This connection is important because businesses do not operate in isolation. They exist within communities and are influenced by the social issues affecting those communities. When employees feel that their workplace respects civic engagement and social awareness, they are more likely to feel motivated, valued, and loyal to the organization. Allowing respectful expression also helps employees feel that their voices matter. When people feel heard and respected, they are more likely to invest their energy into their work and support the long-term goals of the company. In turn, this can improve morale, strengthen workplace relationships, and even enhance the organization's public reputation.
Okay, moving on. Based on everything we have said thus far, our suggestion is to modify our company policy and integrate standards that reflect our support of freedom of expression and friendly conversations of social justice in the workplace. When setting our parameters, it is crucial to emphasize the need to maintain a degree of civility and professionalism when engaging in discourse of political issues. Since we are still a professional establishment, it is imperative to continue to nurture an amicable, positive, and professional environment for all employees and customers. Though our company has experienced the advantages of maintaining the status quo, it is our ability to adapt to the ever-changing demands of our environment that will assist us in maintaining our longevity. And that's it for us.
Thank you. Now, let's talk about how not having a unified dress code hurts hurts the company, the employees, and can be a legal liability for the company and the customers. Every day, people walk into CVS during some of the most vulnerable moments of their lives. They come in worried about a sick child, scared about a new diagnosis, exhausted from caring for a loved one, or quietly trying to hold themselves together. In these moments, they are not looking for a debate or reminders of what separates us. They are looking for comfort and calm. They are looking for professionals who make them feel safe. A pharmacy should not be a place, or a pharmacy should be a place where personal beliefs step aside so care can step forward. So as you heard the background on this issue, one employee violated that dress code, and now we have division amongst over 200 employees at that one location. Now, what would happen if this dress code was discarded at all our locations? So before we start the argument, my teammate and I would like to present two definitions. One is workplace neutrality, And that's defined by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to mean maintaining a work environment that does not favor or discourage specific political, religious, or ideological viewpoints in order to protect fairness and prevent discrimination. The other definition we'd like to include is professionalism. It's defined by the Society for Human Resource Management to mean maintaining conduct and appearance that reflects respect and credibility in the workplace. We would like to offer a course of action that would implement a strict neutral dress code that bans all political or social messaging at work.
Yes, so imagine those scenarios when you walk into CVS and you're stressed out and you're just looking for a healthcare professional that you can just trust. In that high stakes moment, the last thing you want to be worrying about is whether the pharmacist's personal politics align with your own. Our position is very simple. The standard of care requires a neutral environment. To prioritize the patient, we have to prioritize professional boundaries. A pharmacy is ultimately a clinical environment, and for a patient to receive the best care, they must have a foundation of absolute trust. When an employee wears a symbol or for a polarizing movement such as Black Lives Matter or Make America Great Again hat, it creates an immediate psychological barrier. It signals to the patient that the provider's identity is centered on a side rather than on the patient's well-being. This is a documented reality in healthcare. According to research on pharmacist attire published by the Journal of the American Pharmacists Association, professionalism directly correlates with patient confidence. In fact, attire that signals traditional professionalism, like the white lab coat, fosters comfort and confidence in over 86% of patients. Additionally, studies on institutional implicit bias at UConn emphasize that visible personal signals and affiliations erode the patient-provider relationship. These signals can trigger avoidance behaviors in patients where they may withhold information for fear of being judged, directly compromising the quality of their medical care. Critics may say this policy silences employees. We argue the opposite. It is not about suppressing who an employee is. It is about honoring who the patient is. By maintaining a neutral standard care, we ensure that the pharmacy remains a predictable and safe sanctuary for everyone involved. Neutrality ensures that a patient's access to healthcare is never filtered through the lens of a provider's personal politics. In healthcare, the patient is the sun, and we are all the planets. Everything must revolve around their safety and comfort. If we allow the pharmacy to become a battlefield for these culture wars, the patient is the one who loses. Let's keep the focus where it belongs, on health and the trust of the community that we serve.
Okay, now let's look at, or we've looked at how the patient care is promoted by having a uniform dress code. Now let's look at how our employees are affected. So the employees are the heartbeat of the pharmacy. A pharmacy is a high pressure, high accuracy environment that success requires seamless teamwork. However, when you introduce personal political displays, we aren't just allowing expression, we're inviting tribalism onto the pharmacy floor. Social psychologist Henry Tajfel came up with a theory called social identity theory. And in his studies, he found that even a minimal group division, such as Team A and Team B, caused humans to form biases and also create hostile behavior toward the other team. And having this in the workplace does the same thing. Or data from the Society of Human Resources and Management shows that 79% of employers believe political talks adversely affect productivity, and 84% believe it damages employee engagement. Now, this can be seen in what happened at our store, where one employee violated the dress code uniform. And now we have over 200 employees that are divided into two separate groups. And this doesn't promote communication. It creates a hostile work environment. And overall, it divides our workforce and creates a conflicting work environment. The white lab coat exists as the great equalizer. Studies on pharmacist attire show that the uniform professional dress code serves to eliminate visible divisions and stabilize the operation. The lab coat removes the battle lines and forces everyone to return to their common identity as healthcare professionals. When we wear the coat, our personal politics become invisible and our professional purpose becomes the priority and unites us into a team.
Yes, in any debate involving personal expression, it's easy to get swept up into the what and the why of a message, but in a professional healthcare setting, we have to look at the where and the who. When an employee is on the clock, they are acting as a legal agent of their employer. Our third argument is centered on the fundamental truth of the modern workplace. Professionalism is a job requirement. There is a common misconception that the workplace is a forum for unrestricted free speech, but legally, this is false. As outlined by the University of Washington's compliance guidelines, the First Amendment does not protect free speech in a private sector workplace. Employers have a clear, established legal right to mandate a neutral dress code. As long as these rules are applied evenly and fairly, meaning that we restrict all political symbols, not just some, the company is well within its rights to maintain a neutral brand. When you put on the white lab coat, you are agreeing to represent the company's brand and level of professionalism. Moreover, this is also about risk management. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is very clear. Employers are responsible for maintaining a workplace free of harassment. Allowing political charge messaging, regardless of the intent, can inadvertently create what the EEOC defines as a hostile work environment. If a symbol or a pin makes a colleague feel targeted or excluded or harassed in any sort of way, the company then becomes legally liable. By enforcing a strict policy of neutrality, the employer is protecting the stability of the workplace and the safety of the bottom line. We must view this through the lens of the professional boundaries. New York Justice Center's guidelines for clinicians makes it very clear. Displaying personal activism during work hours is a performance issue. You are being paid to provide healthcare, not to campaign. When an employee prioritizes their personal message over the company's dress code, they are failing to fulfill a core job requirement. Upholding a company's image is a contractual obligation, and if you're on the company's dime, you are under the company's brand. A neutral dress code is the most legally and structurally sound way to run a pharmacy. It prevents internal conflict and avoids legal liability, and it also ensures that the focus remains on the job at hand. We are simply asking them to do the job that they were hired to do.
So based on psychology, what we've seen at our own workplace, and our promotion of the general welfare of both our employees and our customers, we'd like to suggest that moving forward, the company implements a strict dress code. This will save the company money on potential lawsuits. It'll create a more productive and agreeable work environment. And most importantly, it projects a professional and safe image to our customers. We suggest that moving forward, the company enforces a strict dress code. If the employee does not follow that, they get a warning. And if the employee continues to violate that dress code, they are terminated. This will help ensure and a safe and united environment that promotes customer well-being and workplace well-being.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Um, For my first question for you is, since you mentioned that to a customer, it would be more comfortable for them to walk into an establishment that didn't have any politically divisive messaging up, but wouldn't you argue that for customers, wouldn't it be more comfortable for them to know that the establishment they're patronizing has political views that are in alignment with their own, especially in an era where corporate social responsibility has taken prominence?
Yeah, I can answer that. So I do think that it's kind of a 50-50% chance. If they walk into the establishment, it's whatever the political views are, it's not 100% guaranteed that the values are going to align. Ultimately, this is not a social club, it's a healthcare facility. So we want to make sure that 100% of the people who walk into the establishment feel safe. And neutrality is the only way to guarantee that a patient's political identity never interferes with their medical treatment.
Thank you.
So earlier you said that in our company is a part of the community and operates in an environment with many different views and regulations. Wouldn't we want to provide a unified front for our company so that our patients know that they can rely on us for their health care and that they're not going to have to worry about the outside political issues?
So, modern workplaces encourage their employees to be themselves and express themselves. A uniform may create a shared appearance, but does not automatically create a genuine collaboration or unity among employees. Real teamwork, I believe, comes from trust, communication, and mutual respect, not just simply from dressing the same. Enforcing uniformity without allowing expression can also weaken engagement and make employees feel less connected rather than more unified. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
And my question for you is that you mentioned that you would release a public statement to express that this initiative would align with CVS's values. What values are you referring to? And how would you say that both the Black Lives Matter and the Make America Great Again's values align with those values?
Thank you for that question. To answer that, so I said earlier that CVS is a very diverse um, environment for our workplace, and we want to strive to be inclusive and avoid any discrimination or harassment to all of our employees. With that being said, we would release a statement that would align with the values I just mentioned. And in relation to the second part of your question, if if there was a discussion where let's say like BLM or MAGA were involved and it escalated to a point where it was really disruptive or unproductive to the workplace, we would discourage conversations like that because I mentioned earlier how we need to implement or nurture an environment that is still very cordial and still very professional. And I hope that answered your question.
It does. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then, Harrison, I'd like to respond to the claim that you made about requiring lab coats and neutral dress code removes battle lines in the workplace. While this argument may seem appealing, it doesn't actually solve a problem. It just hides it. Requiring lab coats does not eliminate differences in beliefs. It only makes them less visible. In the
Thank you for.
pharmacy, employees expressed strong support for both BLM and MAGA movements, as we've seen. These perspectives do not disappear just because everyone is wearing the same uniform. Instead, the disagreement still exists because beneath the surface. By focusing only on appearance, management avoids addressing the real issue, how to foster respect and professionalism among the employees with differing views. So the question I have for you, Harrison, is does requiring lab coats actually reduce division, or does it just hide the differences without addressing them?
Thank you for bringing that up. So, as a company, we're not telling our employees they can't believe a certain thing. But a part of the professionalism is being able to distinguish between your professional and personal life. And studies show that when you introduce or that the uniform creates a unified front for all employees. So they all know they're on the same team. They're all fighting for the same thing, which is the health and wellness of our customers. And it creates an environment where they don't have to think about, well, does the other person believe this or does the other person believe that? They know that they're all fighting for the same goal and are on the same even ground.
Perfect. That answers my question.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Okay, well,
looks like
thank you for being here with us today. We hope that you'll take both our arguments under consideration.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.